Fisheye lenses are fun. I've been getting a ton of use out of this one. It's cheap, it's got a wild look, and it's probably my favorite lens that I've picked up this year, which is honestly kind of surprising to me. It's the TTArtisan 7.5mm fisheye lens. I picked up the X-mount version and I've been using it with my Fuji X-T4 for the last few months. Hey, if you're new to all this stuff and you're saying to yourself, fisheye, what the hell is even that? First of all, welcome. A fisheye is an ultra wide angle lens that gives you a super wide field of view, and it usually comes with a ton of distortion. It's the defining look of old skateboarding videos. I've spent a ton of time this year, especially this summer, photographing bands, and this fisheye has been with me at every show. What I jokingly called the coolest lens you'll use every 8 months has become my go-to. And speaking of go-tos, drink every time I say go-to in this video, huh? My go-to setup for live music this summer has been this lens paired with the Reflex Lab Mini Flash. I did a full review of that one, so make sure you go check that out. So how wide is 7.5mm? It's pretty fucking wide. It's so wide you can see the shadows cast by a certain flash I made a review about recently. You can easily find yourself in the shot if you're not paying attention. But that can be fun. Look at this one. That's kind of goofy. And 7.5 might be the goofiest focal length I own. It completes my holy trinity of weird focal lengths. I have the 23, I have the 56, and now I have the 7.5. I seriously can't believe how much use I've gotten out of this lens already. This lens is so fun to mess around with. It's not exactly something I would call sharp, especially when you shoot it wide open at f2. At that range, it's about as sharp as the front element of the lens. When you stop it down or you combine it with a flash, it gets way sharper. But honestly, you don't buy a lens like this for sharpness. You grab it for the mojo. You grab it for the vibe, for the vibe, for the vibe, for the vibe. You can definitely use this lens for astrophotography. I just did the other night when we saw the Northern Lights in Connecticut. What the hell is happening? But considering it's not the sharpest lens in this galaxy, it's not exactly my first choice for astrophotography either. But you can definitely get some cool shots with it for sure. Here are the big issues I have with it so far though. First off, the design ain't it, chief. I do like that the lens cap is metal and it unscrews so you can actually sneak a filter on it. I've actually never seen something like that before. It just doesn't sit on the fucking thing right and it falls off constantly. That seems to be a theme on the channel lately. It's a super easy fix for a new version of the lens. All you gotta do is make all 4 of these titties the same length and the lens cap will sit on there perfectly. It's still a really cool idea though. Just keep in mind if you use this threaded filter holder lens cap thing, you will get more of a circular fisheye look as opposed to just getting the edges of the frame. And the other thing is the front element, man. No matter what I do, it is constantly dirty. It's like that little booger kid from Zelda is constantly squeezing on it. I've seen online in a few places that apparently on some of these lenses, infinity is not infinity. Huh? Basically, on some copies of this lens, if you focus to infinity at f2 and then stop down to f4, you will notice that the focus is going to shift a little bit. I haven't noticed this issue on my lens, but it is something to consider because enough people have said it. And this is definitely a good time to mention the fact that this is a full manual lens, no autofocus, no auto aperture, no auto anything. The aperture is on the lens, the focus is on the front, and that's it. Slight issues aside, I really can't complain. I enjoy using this lens immensely. It's to the point that I've been sneaking it into videos on this channel that basically have no business using a fisheye. Personally, it's been very inspiring, especially considering I typically love using longer focal lengths. This really pushes me out of my comfort zone. Let's pop this sucker onto the Owen Wilson WOW rating system, and I'm giving this fisheye lens 9 Owen Wilson WOWs out of 10. It's a pretty good grade. I haven't done that in a while. Honestly, you should go get one and send me the photos you take. By the way, I'm not sponsored or anything like this. I bought this with my own money. I just really like the lens and share this video. All right, bye.
Like and subscribe. Sweet Loop Photography. Dumb man.
In other words,
oh, that's now.